Okay, this video is for Brandon, the man. What we got here? Not too much, but it's okay because you're gonna add more. And you're gonna make a nice FAQ for the latest and greatest game console. So what I've got here on the what I've got here on the right is a Nintendo Switch FAQ that has everything you would want to know in it. Because it's a very confusing thing. And people are interested in video games, right? In high school, that's a good thing to do. So let them know. What I got here on the left is about 50 words. That's okay. So let's see. I've got some notes here. Me and Candace took. Let me grab them. All right. So I would say, first off, let's start off with some background info. It's not just an FAQ. It's not just like a question and answer thing. It's also like a little news story because it's like when you write a review on something, you give some context and some background info. So let's talk. I would say talk about like the situation for Nintendo because Nintendo kind of was crappy before this console. The last thing they made was the Wii U, failed miserably. So their last thing they released did not do very well at all. It was it didn't have. It was just basically a slight upgrade to the Nintendo Wii, which was successful, and there wasn't enough stuff for it. And there wasn't enough games. There was like not enough anything. So look up a little bit about that, and just say how important it was for the company to do well on this one. So then you talk about Nintendo in general. Nintendo has had a tough decade. They're you can copy this. It's fine. Has tough decade. When Microsoft entered the market with Xbox and Sony stepped up their game with um, each iteration, that means generation, of the PlayStation. Their cute, kid-friendly uh, brand of Nintendo needed to adapt. They, instead of, think about Nintendo, what do? They still make Mario games and like all this stuff for kids, basically. So they could have, copied PlayStation and Xbox and gotten like violent and had all these shooting games, but instead they said no, we're gonna keep doing what we do. We're gonna occupy this section of the marketplace, and we're not gonna change. So let's say when the cute kid friendly, it it looked like the cute kid friendly brand Nintendo needed to adapt. Instead, they stuck by their guns, I guess. That's what they say. Stuck by their guns. They recommitted themselves to cartoon style games, which are accessible to the young and the old. So, think about the Wii. Like your grandparents can play that. They do the golf or whatever. So that's their thing. That's what they do. So we're setting the stage to talk about their new console. Um, so see, look, I mean, this will come later after we do this. What is Nintendo Switch? So, but no one, okay, so hybrid video game console with the main system comprising of the Switch console, the Switch dock, and the Joy-Con controller. So no one knows what that means. That's the whole point of this article, is because they don't know what that means. So, I mean, alright, Nintendo Switch explained. Look how easy it is, for God's sake. How the Nintendo Switch works, explained. 5-minute video.
Nintendo 64 offered the in every one of these features.
Here we go.
Nintendo Switch is a video game system for the home. You connect it to the TV to play games. When you want to play away from the TV, you just remove Nintendo Switch from the dock. When you attach the left and right Joy-Con controllers, you can continue playing anywhere. Nintendo Switch has been designed to be a home console gaming system that gives you the freedom to change your playstyle.
Okay, so I've only played this once, but not really long enough. So what happens is, this is the controller right here. These two little things are called the Joy-Cons. So when it's connected to your TV, you put this all together, and this is your controller right here. So when it's not, you pull the Joy-Cons, the little controller things, off the sides, and you connect it to the screen that goes inside of here. Okay, so that's what you want to explain to people. You want to write it in a way people can understand how this thing actually works, because that's the number one reason why someone wouldn't buy it, because they don't understand how it works. So how can we describe this easily? So let's get some context. So let's say everyone's familiar with Nintendo, but they might be investing in the new console might be difficult if it's not well understood. Okay. The Switch is, in fact, the first of its kind. It's a hybrid console, meaning it can switch, get it, back and forth between a TV-based console and a handheld game system, like the Game Boy. So that's the number one thing you do to explain it. Okay. But once you say that, just break it down. Here's how it works. The all-in-one console hooks up to the television and can play just like any other. However, the console contains a portable screen which can be removed and attached with the two halves of the controller. These are called Joy-Cons. That's what they call these things. So we'll see if we're missing anything here.
Nintendo Switch is a video game system for the home. You connect it to the TV to play games. When you want to play away from the TV, you just remove Nintendo Switch from the dock. When you attach the left and right Joy-Con controllers, you can continue playing anywhere. Nintendo Switch has been designed to be a home console gaming system that gives you the freedom to change your playstyle.
I guess you sort of had that. I mean, I guess you sort of had that. Yeah, you had that. That's good. But we need a little more detail. You know, we got to explain it clearly, and we have plenty of room. We want a nice long story, and we want to get people really informed.
Next, allow me to introduce the playstyles Nintendo Switch will offer. TV mode. Play games on the TV in typical video game style. Tabletop mode. Stand the Nintendo Switch console up with its kickstand and play using the Joy-Con. You can now play video games in front of a screen with others, wherever you like, even away from the TV. Handheld mode. Attach the left and right Joy-Con to the system. You can take it with you and play indoors, outdoors, or anywhere you like. And what do you think of handing a Joy-Con to a friend or family member and sharing the joy right then and there? Battery life will vary by game, but it will range from 2.5 USB circuit over Wi-Fi for multiplayer battles. And up to 8 Nintendo Switch systems can be connected for local wireless multiplayer gaming.
All right, so I think we're looking pretty good. I guess you sort of had that stuff. I just thought it needed to be explained a little more thoroughly. But yeah, you did. It's okay. So I guess you could lose this now. And lose yeah, keep this because you got these names in here which are good. So so you're describing different parts of it. So the Switch dock, Switch console, and the Joy-Cons. So I would say called the Switch console. So that's in there. All right, so here's the nuts and bolts. This is good stuff. Double check this. Depends on what you're doing with it. Depends on the game and what you're doing with it. You need to list different bundles here. I know you can buy more than the basic one. Just Google Switch bundles. I mean, look here. Here, this one has Mario Kart. One has Zelda. Different prices. Just list those. See if you can find a couple links. See if you get them all. No. You don't say unfortunately, because it's not really an opinion piece. It's just a fact thing. So no. So yeah, backwards compelled. This is good. You got their quote. It's fine. Add more games. This is good. Online playing. That's important. Here's this guide that has everything in it. So what's in the box? So one of the things that I find is really annoying with video games these days is there's not enough hard drive space. How much hard drive space does it offer? 32 gigabytes. Does the console include Wi-Fi? Yes. It uses wireless LAN, ABGN/AC compliant, and Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth 4.1. That's pretty great. Um, let's talk about the screen. So that's the thing that, when you pull it out and you play it by itself, um, what are the specifications of screen? So, like we said, the console includes a screen for when you're playing away from your TV. Um, it's 1280 by 720 pixels, and is and and can operate as a touch screen for certain games and apps. Okay. So I see a little bit about the battery. The battery takes about 3 hours to charge. Fully. That kind of sucks. 6 hours, depending on what you're doing with it, but then 3 hours to charge fully. It's not great. So here's one of the things. Uh, so it looks like it's not always 6.5 hours. Battery lasts between 2.5 and 6.5 hours, depending on the game and what you're doing with it. That's the battery for the screed. Luckily, you can charge and play at the same time. The Joy-Con controllers have their own separate batteries, which will hold which last for around 20 hours. This is one, I'd say, this is one of the more controversial things, so this is one of the more, this is one of the hotly debated issues with respect to the console. BRB. Okay, I'm back. So let's see what they have down here. It says, how does it work? I think that's pretty straightforward. That's what we try to do up top. See how they do it. So 3 different modes. That's a good way of doing it. Okay, so let's, the Switch can be played and operated in 3 different modes. So, take this and paraphrase how the 3 different modes work right here. Console mode, etc. Um, the streaming, that's a big thing in video games now. Um, and I think we want to talk about that. Can the gameplay be streamed online? I don't know if you know about Twitch. Twitch is a big website where people stream their gameplay live and other people watch it. What I do at work. Um, so, with popularity of Twitch and online game streaming, Twitch, esports, and online game streaming, Nintendo would have been unwise to not include streaming capabilities. However, the left Joy-Con controller features a capture button that can take screenshots and will likely feature video streaming after later updates. Okay. So this question is local multiplayer. That means can you use multiple consoles to play with each other? Can multiple consoles be used for local multiplayer? Yes. Up to 8 consoles can be connected to play over one Wi-Fi network. Um, Now I think maybe one of the last things we need is, let's put the games at the end. That's like the last thing you put after you get to the basics. And this is going to need to be updated because when this comes out, this paper is going to come out in the middle of the summer. It's going to have all new games. So, I want to see like 20 games. Um, and so this one was going to be, uh, in an online marketplace. So you buy games digitally and you download them. You don't actually go to the store and buy the disc. You download them on the internet and they're on you and you have them forever on your account, right? So, um, does the Switch feature an online marketplace? Yes. Um, so starting in fall, players will be able to subscribe to a monthly service which gets them free games and other online perks. Um, this is important. Can you play old games like Super Nintendo? The description will include old Nintendo games, some even with updates and new modifications for multiplayer. So that's pretty cool. I kind of want this now. Hey, does not have a web browser. That's good. That's not good. Will I be able to browse the web using my Nintendo Switch? Not yet. As of now, the console doesn't have a web browser. That's crap. Alright, so that's a lot of stuff. You know, what else did I want you to do? Try and put some of this background stuff in here. So do this. Talk about the 3 different modes, which are in the article. Um, see what else you can find out in Nintendo and how it's doing and what it's like. You know, add this. This is the whole intro paragraph, not this. This goes after here. So this is your intro up here. See what you can do there. Feel free to be creative. Talk about old games. Remind people the nostalgia of Nintendo. Set the stage for the rest of the article and talk about why it's important that this succeeds and what it's like and what they're trying to do. It's pretty cool, and Nintendo sort of made a big comeback with this. Talk about the different modes. Include the bundles. More games. Talk about the big ones. What are the ones that have won awards and stuff? I mean, like the new Zelda game is really, really amazing, apparently, and like their biggest thing. It's selling a lot of consoles. So we'll do the games. Oh, come on. We'll do the games at the end. So do those things, and you'll be pretty good to go. And let me know, Brandon, if you want to do the Miriam Enriquez story, because I mean, everyone sort of has a big story they're doing, and you don't really have a big story. But like I said, we got a digital email interview with the executive director of immigration for Philadelphia, and so your story will be next to Moses' story. It'll be perspectives on Trump. Calvin Tucker and Moses did that. He did a really good job, and then Miriam Enriquez, and I'll have your name. And if you write that, and you have an interview and a written story from the executive director of immigration for Philadelphia, for the mayor, that's going to be pretty good. You probably get it. You might have a good chance of winning an award. You can put that in your resume for the rest of your life. So let me know if you want to do that, and see if you can get me back a finished draft for this um, in like a week. So like next Friday, the 30th. Just give that a shot. Thanks.